Amigos, welcome back to El Cuarto de mi Suegra, where we gather as friends to discuss our daily lives y chismear un rato about our favorite artists. And talking about favorite artists, I am so excited because look, guys, I have a guest today. She is a local superstar from the 805. Mi amiga Adriana Reyna is with us today.
I need to have you as the MC for my show.
Your shit. I will be like you hype woman. I'm not a DJ, but I can just be in the background.
Yes.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Yeah, you have the energy for that for sure.
And you know what? Like right now, I'm like at 0.
Oh my god, no way.
Yes.
I get like that when I'm on stage. Like on fire. I could be at 0 and then like boom, adrenaline.
The song comes and you're like, como la flor.
There you go. You'll be a special guest next time.
It's funny because my amigos club, we call each other amigos club here, and they know that I'm like a wannabe singer, but I'm like so bad at it, like so bad, which I'm going to tell you the story, but before I get started, how are you today?
I'm good. Actually,
thank you for coming.
No, and thank you for being here. Thank you for making this happen. I am a little tired too, so that's actually
great.
Yeah, it's great. It's perfect. Actually, I wish we had a blanket here, but I have a show after this, so I can't do that yet.
I know. I next time una concha, no comido.
I don't eat for like at least almost 5 hours before I sing.
I think it makes sense.
Because otherwise you're like
full. Repite.
Yeah.
You're like, no, ¿cómo?
Yeah.
No se puede,
so
no.
You can't do that.
No, and then the dress, you can be all panzona.
That's true.
That's terrible. Oh, the dresses. We're going to talk about your outfits, girl, because I'm like, oh my God, where did you get, who makes these outfits?
Oh my God. Yes,
super sparkly.
Yeah, super sparkly. It's nice sparkly too. I'll give a preview on that.
Oh, yeah. I have a favorite so far.
One?
I think the one for Christmas, the Christmas parade. Oh, you did like a little snowflake. You were so cute. I was like, yes, white swan.
So I have a funny story about that. So some of my friends went to watch the show, and they got home, and their neighbors were getting home, and they're like, "Oh yeah, where did you guys go?" And we're like, "Oh, the Christmas parade," and they're like, "Oh my God, did you guys see Katy Perry was on it?" And they thought I was Katy Perry. Oh, the kids did. Like their kids thought I was Katy Perry. And
that is a good compliment.
That was a very good compliment.
She has a bang body too.
Yeah, and the hat. I think it was like the whole thing.
Yes.
You know, like she's always dressed up and she has all the colors and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, that's the best compliment for sure.
That is cute. You were giving like Mariah Carey.
Vibe.
You were giving J-Lo vibe in 2000s. You were giving. You know?
I'm so glad you have them all down.
You were giving a little bit of Thalia too.
Oh, I like Thalia, yeah.
You were.
Like her,
you were.
You know.
Paulina Rubio, maybe.
No.
But because no es más rockera. Es más rockera.
Yeah,
es más rockera. Yeah, but yeah, Thalia, I would say.
So that outfit, this is a great story. All my outfits have great stories, actually. Because I never look for them. I think I learned something very early on with like just dresses in general or like going out somewhere. Anytime you're looking for it, you don't find it.
Yeah, no.
So I just go with the flow, which I think is like how life should be, but I'm really good with the outfits. And some other things I'm not, but the outfits I'm good. And so what happened with that, I went to Culiacan in October, and that's when I got a call saying, hey, my family's from Sinaloa. So I was out there with my family, and then I get a call, and they're like, hey, do you want to participate in the parade? And I'm like, yes. So Culiacan, like, women are flashy. You know,
it is true. It is.
So I went out, like, to the stores, like, down the street from my cousin's house, and they had, like, I seriously thought, like, these have to be for singers, like, performers of some sort. So I asked my cousin, I said, are these stores, like, for singers? And she's like, no. Like, that's what just women here wear in general. So I found those white boots I had, like I found them there, and I found that outfit. And I was like, this is the outfit. Like I knew right off, like when I saw it, I'm like, I'm taking this outfit, I'm taking the boots, and I brought them back. That's how I found that outfit.
That's straight from Mexico?
From Mexico.
That is amazing. Because I mean, there's many cool ones that that I've seen you wear, but that one, I don't know why I was like, oh, I like it.
So it was
so cute.
Yeah, and then I ordered that hat. So I was like,
that was so perfect.
Like, what should I wear? I feel like I should have something. It might be cold. And then I found it on Amazon. I'm like, oh, it's
no, but honestly, when I did see it, I was like, and I think it was very freezing. I don't even know if it was raining.
It was cold.
And then
I had the dress and I was dancing.
Because I was like, I know,
I had a coat over it, like, and then I took it off to like perform. But
that was amazing.
Yeah, those all the outfits have a story. It's great.
And that's always so fun, right? Because I feel like any artist, they always have either a story behind their performance, if they wherever, like an event, or like you said, like at the outfit. And that's kind of cool because then you can keep them all, and then you'd be like, oh, yeah, I bought this here.
I'm gonna have like a store like Selena later on. With all the and then you can like go purchase that one for like $1 million.
Oh yeah, like in the Celesta.
Oh, you can be that person.
That's how we talk. It's amazing.
Yeah, we'll do a subasta soon. Coming up. I'm not ready to get rid of them just yet. I always think I'm gonna wear it somewhere else.
But... No, and then I feel like, I mean, it's kind of sad, unfortunately. I feel like when that happens, when you they either open or they put them for auctions because somebody passed away. So we don't want that. No, we don't want that. We don't want that.
I'll leave them to you to do that
later.
And my trust,
her. She will set, and then
we're gonna give them to good causes,
nonprofits. Yeah. Sí, yo soy tu wheel manager. No, that's I'm telling you, that's tough. All these trusts and things are tough because in my banking experience, it's always un relajo. Ay no, qué horror, no, mejor no. Chuchu, y no queremos bring that into this. But I wanted to tell you my little story about me singing. So I grew up in a church, right? Like a lot of us. But going to church and the youth group and everything. But I was actually, I think I was like around 11, and I always wanted to be with the teen group because my sisters are older, and I always wanted to hang out because they were my sisters, but they were my friends. I didn't really hang out with like younger people because my parents would always make me go with them wherever they went. So they were at the youth group and they were in the choir. And my uncle was the coordinator, I guess, of the group. And he let me sing with them. And because I was the youngest, so they put me in the front, right? And then I was like short. And we practiced this song, right, for this Sunday service. And I'm super excited. And I'm like, and I'm standing there looking cute. And then I was like singing my heart out to God. I was like, Gloria, like singing and singing.
You have good pitch.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
Well, I pretend. But anyways, thank you. So I'm like singing to, my lungs out. And I was like, for some reason, I was like, but why can't I hear me? Like, plus, I'm like really loud, So I was like, damn, am I that loud? I couldn't even hear myself through the microphone because I could hear like my sisters and my, the gentlemen. So I'm like, that's weird. So then I was like, later on, I don't know, I was talking to my parents at home, and my mom, they're like, ay, mi niña, bien desentonada, hasta su tío le apagó el microphone. So he turned my microphone off because I was so off key that he turned it off. So nobody, I mean, they probably heard me, but like not through the... He turned it off. I'm like, that is
kind of mean.
That is so mean.
Where's that Theo? We need to talk to him.
Oh, my Theo. I'm not gonna say any names, but he knows who I'm talking about because he always makes fun of it until now. But anyways, I was like, damn, you're judging my singing. God doesn't judge people singing. You just sing to the Lord.
Yeah.
But yeah, so ever since then I just kind of never wanted to sing ever again.
Oh, see, you need to get back into it.
Yeah, but even that, I have a lot of home videos of me singing Oh, girl, you should. I'm telling you, I was like, my mom has videos of me pretending to be Gloria Trevi.
Oh, nice.
Pretending to be Alejandra Guzman.
And I'm singing both of them tonight.
Gatos en el balcón.
Fea.
Yes. So me complimenta mi media naranja. Yes. So she has all these home videos of me pretending to be a singer. I honestly think in my other life I was like maybe like a second J-Lo, but with a better personality. But because J-Lo's tough in the streets right now.
Is she?
Ay, pobrecita.
I don't know much about her right now.
They're like, she's not doing so great in the popular opinion. But I always say I love her. Like I feel like I kind of feel, not that I'm her, but I feel her because everybody always used to tell her no, like you can't do that. You're not going to be that. You can't sing. You can't dance. You're not going to be an actress. You're not going to do this. And she was like, I'm going to do it. So I like that.
I just think she dates the wrong people.
I think that her love life has definitely taken over her like career in like the bigger picture.
Yeah.
But she does have a little bit of a kind of bad attitude. But I think it's more like a New Yorker vibe. You know how New York people are so tough?
That's true.
I think that's where she gets like the dry, like the dryness, kind of dry humor. It's a New Yorker thing, and people don't kind of get. And then being Latina with the attitude, it's just kind of like it just doesn't mix well.
It doesn't mix well, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. But do you have a favorite singer?
I do.
You do? I'm sure you do.
I have two. This is so interesting. Okay, so my favorite artist,
yes.
Man, this is hard right now. I mean, I hadn't thought about this lately, but for the longest time, maybe till the point she sung with, this is gonna be bad.
Girl, don't worry. We don't get canceled around here.
All over and then she's gonna hear me, and when I want to do,
a collab,
she's gonna be like, no.
It's so love. We speak the truth around here.
We speak the truth. So I, by far, have been a super fan of Shakira.
Oh, yes.
So my number one, I mean, when I was a kid and I was 4, I loved music from day one. And so it was Selena. Like I was actually a Selena fan, but like
who wasn't
like
honestly?
A real Selena fan. Like I mean, like the kind that knew her before she died. Okay. I was 4, but I was like obsessed. I had all the cassettes. Like I mean, I was traumatized.
Every lyric.
Yeah. I was a Selena fan, and so I get a little angry with the I get it. She became like more of a thing after she died. But like I was before that.
No, and like, then I get angry to the like now fans, like the Generation Z. I'm like, bye, bye, sit down.
G does a really good like
cover
La Flor, and so I think a lot of them are like, oh, like but I do. I'm like, really, like no, like
you don't even know.
You don't even know exactly.
Yeah.
And all the other songs that are not como La Flor because
there's so many,
and they're so great. So. But after that, after she died and stuff, like as I grew up, my number one was Shakira. Till she sung, until like recently, after like
you're not liking the whole she wolf after.
Yeah, I'm not liking the she wolf after the fact.
It's because she always sings "Awoo" in all her songs. Like for what? Like why you have to like how? Like I don't get it.
That's true. I guess
and it's overdone. Like I get it. Like if it's your intro because we know like the she wolf is coming. Like but if she's like singing then "Awoo" and then she sings again and "Awoo" and I'm like okay.
See, you can sing. I'm telling you.
Oh girl, maybe
do a song together.
Maybe you need.
I'm gonna teach her a song. I'm gonna be your teacher. I'm gonna teach you a song.
I got you. My music. Yeah. I want to be a low-key actress, but like I want to be.
You're already an actress.
Like I want to like how people have like what are those movies called? Like when you're like
documentary.
No. Like when you're doing the life story of somebody.
What's a biography?
Yes.
Okay.
So I want to be Maria Felix. Because I have this and I have this. Hizo la gran señora. I would love to play Maria Felix and Lola Beltrán.
Okay.
O Ana Gabriel.
Okay.
I think I have the looks.
I think you have the Maria Felix look for sure.
For
and
sure.
It's like a plus.
And then I just have to have the badass attitude because I don't. I'm a little weenie.
No,
but Maria Felix is like my idol, kind of.
Okay.
And it's weird because I'm not like Maria Felix at all, but it's because my mom was a big Maria Felix. We watched the movies. She had like all like the magazines, and like she like even got like this color. I'm like hitting this microphone nonstop, but it's okay.
I know I'm doing
no, it's okay. It's okay. People can hear us.
I'm like
trying not to move. It's okay. We don't pay attention to the microphones, but yeah. So I want to do that.
Okay, we can do that.
But I just don't know how to sing. And I think I hate when they play the artist, but they don't sing. It's
okay. You're right.
But I think Maria Felix was a singer, but I don't think she was like
Lola Beltran.
Yeah, you know what I mean? With the high pitch and stuff. So I think I can do it.
Okay, we will work on it. So next show, she'll be singing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so scared. I am very shy actually when it comes to like it comes to nothing actually.
No way, you can't. You're not shy.
I low-key been thinking about becoming an actress. You know why? Because I see a lot of actresses and actors that they're like they're themselves, but then also like they're older now and they just become these massive superstars. And I'm like, oh, because before I think it was like our generation where like if you weren't like 18, 20, then you're too old. You're too old to sing. You're too old to be popular. You're too old to be a model. You're too old to be an actress. You're too old for anything. Your life has ended at 20.
Right.
You know, like you're a señora now, so go get married, have 30 kids. That was kind of like the vibe back in the days.
That's true.
And now that I'm like late 30s, I'm barely feeling like I'm alive.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I turned 30, I died because I was so depressed that I was 30. And then now, it was weird. And now...
Is that when you started the podcast?
I started the podcast, yeah.
The outlet.
But it was funny because I was actually in a very dark spot when I started the podcast. And it was during COVID too, which added to, I guess, the stress, but not really. Like, I was already traumatized since birth. I had trauma since birth, but I never processed. Yeah. No, but I think I was like... And it wasn't actually, I like got diagnosed with this hormonal like unbalanced thing at 30. And I think that's why it hit me so hard. But anyways, but now I'm like, what? I can do it. I feel it myself. Voy a enseñar lonja. Yes, let's do it. No more spandex, no more nothing, no more faja. You know, I feel that way. Yeah.
How do we get there?
Grilled.
How do you get to the spandex?
We
started with Shakira.
Your favorite artist?
She is. She really is. Yeah.
Ole. No, but I know. I'm so bad. I get so sidetracked with things that it's ridiculous. Like, how we get to Spain?
I think we got there because we were talking about Generation Z. And they probably still don't use them, and we do.
And we do. You know more. Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm done not breathing when I go out.
Yeah, you gotta breathe.
No, and then when you
wear something loose.
And then when you go to the bathroom, I literally sweated.
You go out a lot still?
No, pero cuando salgo... Girl, do you know how much I sweat just trying to take those spandex and put them back in the damn bathroom in the club or wherever you go? It's hot. You're rushing because there's a line. People are staring at you. You're like trying to take these tight-ass spandex. No, we're not doing that.
I haven't.
That's not negative.
No, I never wore spandex. And it's not because I had like, perfect figure or anything. I just don't like that. I just don't like that feeling like of being like
suffocated?
Yeah, constricted.
I kind of like it.
Todo en un solo lugar.
I kind of like corsets. Mm-hmm. Like I would want to be in those like that era.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Sí, porque sí.
I have the more of the hippie vibe. Like, let me wear that.
I think about like now how like plastic surgery is such a normal thing, right? But I remember when Thalia se quitó las costillas.
Did she really?
Yes. Did she really?
Really?
Yes.
But what about her organs? Like, can you just go
No.
and grab them? Or she took some of them off?
Yeah, no todas. ¿Cómo
Okay,
se
I was like, well,
how her lungs are going to be busy?
yeah, I mean, you know.
No,
like,
se quitó como una,
Una,
dos,
dos.
just to like the bottom. It's the
So
bottom
it,
section. So it
she's
kind of.
already really nice figure.
Está bien flaca, parece skeleton right now, like 50, what? She turned 53
She
or
looks
something.
so good for her age.
Pues el dinero, claro.
Dinero, desde siempre.
I mean,
Yeah.
I always say, this is my biggest thing. When you're a celebrity, and maybe for some people it's not important, but I think because we're poor and I look at everything, you know, like we always so self-conscious of everything for ourselves is weird. But like celebrities, like if you have money and you look terrible, like you got beat up and like your teeth are hella crooked and like I'm like,
come on.
Okay, that's disrespectful. Like, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say I don't love him anymore because sometimes his comments that he made, I'm like, yeah, no, ya me cayó mal. Pitbull.
Oh.
I love his music. Y me cae bien, me caía re bien. But then, like, lately, some of his interviews about, like, America and immigration, I'm not a big fan. But again, cada quien tiene su opinión, you know, so I'm not going to be like that. I hate him. No, but I don't know.
You were more into him.
Yeah, like, I'm more like, okay, maybe you're not my vibe, you know? But I still like his music and I respect his opinion. But I'm like, ¿y los dientes? Like, I mean, like, I don't, like, it's not like, obviously, yeah, no te voy a besar or anything, but I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, I think your hygiene, and I'm not saying that he's bad hygiene, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you have the money, why don't fix it? Yo, bien pobre, like, I don't even know, like, how to save for, like, 4 years to get my braces. But I did it.
You didn't. Yeah.
But they just don't care. Y uno acá traumado, and they're just like,
yeah.
Right? It's pretty interesting.
Because I think that's the ultimate goal, like, not to care about
anything.
Like, not to care about what other people think about what you want. You know? So, like, he doesn't care that you don't like his teeth.
Obviously, clearly. And obviously las mujeres que...
They love him. Y les encantan los dientes como los tiene.
Y como yo siempre digo, Mark Anthony.
Oh, Mark Anthony.
I mean...
You don't like Mark Anthony?
Oh, no. I mean, his music, amazing.
But him?
Obviously, he's an icon.
I've had this discussion with a couple people.
He's an icon, right? Like, he is, obviously...
He's Mark Anthony.
He's Mark Anthony. We can't take that. Pero es un flaquito desnutrido, and I'm like, ¿y por qué tanta mujer belleza tan guapa? Like, I don't get it.
You know, I had this discussion with someone, and someone obviously right away, they were like, well, the money. And I was like, no, like... and somebody, like an older lady explained this to me, because I told her, I said, we were looking at someone like, oh, he's like, what did she say? She's like, there's different categories for men. So like very, very handsome, like in between, and then ugly, right? And so Mark Anthony falls in the ugly section, but
popular opinion. I'm not saying he's ugly. Opinion, I'm just saying he's the flaco.
But he's a very attractive ugly. Like, and she meant that like his whole vibe.
I get it.
You know, like, I mean,
he has a big personality for a little human.
Yeah. There's more to him than just the physical.
And I want to point this out because because I get super upset when men talk about women's bodies and appearance. But this is why I'm talking about it, because why men get to do it, but we don't get to do it. Yeah. But if we do it, it's like, oh, you're so rude, you're so mean. But it's like, okay, but men can talk about women's body and que las gorditas feas y que esto y lo otro, but we can't.
See, well, the thing
doesn't make it right, but
there's one way to talk about it and say your opinion about how you feel,
right?
And then there's the other point of like criticizing and judging, because I think what happens, or what's happened in society before, is like men tend to look at women and say how they should look, like oh, women should have this, or like, for instance, I don't know if you've seen that generational thing where like women throughout the ages, what their body should look like.
Yes.
And so like right now, for instance, we were in a really big wave, which I think it's slowed down a bit, of like the really big butt and like the Kardashian look.
Yeah.
You know, that was the thing right now. So what happens to the women that have the skinny bodies?
Yeah.
Where are they on the spectrum? They're not really on the spectrum because right now they're not. And so all those skinny women during this time want to be voluptuous.
Yeah.
And so it goes, it's like, but if they were in the era back in the time
when
like,
we grew up,
that it was
the models,
Britney Spears and all the models,
Paris Hilton,
then we all wanted to be skinny. Yeah,
sí.
That was the look. And so it's not the fact that we can't say our opinion about something, it's the fact that
how you
deliver it, and whether you're trying to make women, most men have an opinion about what women should wear and look and how they should act.
And I was just giving my opinion. I should say he's not my type. That's what I should say.
See, he would be my type.
He would
be totally my type.
Well, because he's an artist.
He's an artist. He's he's like
an
that,
older
that personality.
Secure.
Like just like he's got the sexy vibe.
I think es la labia too.
It's like sexy vibe.
Before le decían tiene verbo.
Tiene verbo. Yeah.
Like he knows how to speak to women. Like
his voice. Like all of the above.
Got it.
But let's say, give me
I'm
an
more
example of someone that's really like attractive, and I'd probably be like,
Well, it's kind of hard for me because I feel like when I was young,
who was it?
Todo el mundo se me hacía attractive. Cada, digo que veces chupacabras. Parece chupacabras. No, mi esposo, no, claro, por eso me casé. No, but I am more attractive. I have a type, which I don't know why, because it's not like I'm in shape. Athletic, like soccer players.
Yeah, soccer players.
I wouldn't date like a famous soccer player, obviously, but my husband is a soccer player. He's been a soccer player for all his life, but he has a soccer body, like look. He's fit, but not like fit muscular, but he's fit like an athlete, like a soccer.
Athlete.
Yeah. So he's
Were you an athlete too?
I was. But see, I always tell my excuse, I'm a mother.
Yeah.
My body just never went back. You know, people have the amazing genes where they just bounce back like they never had a baby, even into their older. Like my friends, all my friends. But me, I have the worst genes. Like never even, I had my daughter so young. You would think I would be like,
would bounce back. Correct.
No, never. Everything, todo se me hinchó, los huesos, everything. So I'm just like,
hormonal.
I give up.
All of hormones.
I give up.
Yeah.
No, but I think back in the days, my attractive, I was obsessed with David Beckham.
Oh,
that was my crush.
Too girly for me.
I was upset. Yes, like he has a pretty look, pretty boy.
Look. Yeah,
yes,
like
people
that.
don't like that.
Yeah.
But I also Brad Pitt. Again, pretty boy.
Brad Pitt. I'll take Brad
Pitt.
Pretty
boy.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, that's good.
Cristiano Ronaldo in the young generation. Now he has so much work done that he's not.
You wouldn't take him now? I would take him now.
No,
Before
está bien mucho, no sé qué se pone Botox.
Oh, too pretty.
But see, I like older men too. Like I used to, and this is bad. When I was in high school, I loved George Clooney.
Oh, okay.
Like I would tell my mom I wanted to marry George Clooney.
Who doesn't love that guy?
Pero pues yo estaba bien chiquita y ya era un señor. But I told my mom I want to marry George Clooney. She'd be like,
well, he wasn't that old when you were young.
I was like in his 40s probably.
Still, but he looked really good.
George Clooney. See, that's my vibe. George, the White Fox kind of like man. That's my vibe.
Yeah.
And my husband is becoming White Fox, so I'm just like yes, honey. There. Yeah.
Estás madurando.
Yes, I was like, you're ripening just fine.
Just perfectly fine.
I'm like, you know what I mean?
Nice, smart.
I'm more like fine wine. He's está madurando. No, but but I like if you think of, like I used to like literally like I liked like I was
like anybody.
No, like not anybody, but I was attracted to different different styles. I think like T.I. I thought he was just so hot. Mm-hmm. The rapper T.I. Like in my 2000s. I used to love Baby Bash. Mm-hmm. Oh, the curly hair girl. I was just like Call me
Yeah.
Shorty. Yeah, that was my guy right there.
Okay.
And
you have different types for sure.
I do. I'm all over the place. But I feel like now I'm all over the place. But I feel like I would say Latino men, like it. I used to say William Levy.
No,
pero no, ya no,
too pretty, way too pretty. That's the example I was gonna give. I was
William
like,
Levy.
A lot of people give like they're like
absolutely
him, and
not.
I'm like,
no. Chayanne.
Chayanne's attractive.
It's attractive.
Yeah. He's got good moves too.
I'm trying to think. ¿Cómo se llama este señor? I can't think right now. Pero
singer, actor.
No, he used to be a locutor in Mexico, and he used to do like it was kind of like Price is Right, but in Mexico. Creo que era el precio no sé qué. He's from Baja. No,
Marco Antonio
is him? Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Como that back in the days when I was growing up, he was like, everybody wanted him.
I don't know about that one.
But honestly,
he has a podcast.
Yes, I listened to it.
Yeah.
Todos los actores como de las novelas originales. Ay, mi Ponchito Herrera de RBD, that was my crush. Like, you know how he was kind of like manly.
Okay.
Yeah. With that vibe.
Damn, you really liked all of them.
Christopher Uckerman. Papacito, yes.
Okay.
So, you know.
Yeah.
Es que yo tengo amor para todos, o sea, no discrimino tampoco.
I can see that.
But I'm just saying que Marc Anthony, es que yo soy una mujerona y como un flaquito, como que no. Está chaparrito. ¿Cómo
es?
Sí, chaparrito.
How tall is he?
I think he's 5, if I'm not mistaken, he's like 5'8", 5'9", if anything.
That's not chaparrito.
Ay, claro que sí, porque yo soy
5'7" and under.
Porque yo soy esa height. Yo no quiero que uno me quede
How tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
Oh, I'm 5'8".
5'8". ¿Y tú quieres con Marc Anthony? ¿Lo tener como bastón?
No, that's fine. I love him.
Oh, pues está bien. Yeah. No, pues por eso se casó el hombre 20 veces, porque las mujeres bellas lo siguen.
Sí.
Sí, pues sí.
He's got that vibe, though. He's got to have that bad boy vibe, you know? Like, I got this down.
Para que te rompan el corazón, muy bien.
Sí, así pasa. Así como Shakira. Sí, we came back to it.
Ay, pero Shakira fue con el soccer play.
I know. He was very handsome. She had pretty kids.
Ese estaba guapo.
He was handsome back in the day. Le sacó
la vida a la Shakira.
More than her other husband.
It's true. Le sacó la vida.
She wasn't married.
Al Piqué.
She was never married.
No, she was just with that guy for like 10 years. That guy from Spain.
11? Yeah,
sí,
I know this information.
¿Ya ves? Mucho tiempo.
Yeah, that was a long time.
Pero Shakira no se casó con Piqué tampoco.
No, she didn't.
No.
Es
que she's smart. No.
She's smart.
No, I love Shakira too. Pies descalzos, my favorite.
Yeah, I just can't. I don't think I think my point to that was that she's Shakira. Like, and I really felt that she in music, she was so good with her lyrics and her intention. And I felt that she had the opportunity to bring that out because she is Shakira. Like, let's say I write a song, it might not come out to like thousands and millions of people, but she has the opportunity, and she had it through a breakup, something that so many people go through, and that she had the opportunity to make it like, it's fine. She needed 1, 2, 3 songs to be popular and get her up on the charts
and get her the money.
Fantastic. Like, I'm all about it. But that other side of her that she's shown us is the one that I think actually is what made her famous. You know? Because we have a lot of the so this is how I like to see music, because I like a lot of music, not just one type, but I see levels of music, right? And so as you go deeper, you get more soulful. right? More into the heart. So like the outside stuff is like reggaeton. Like, hey, let's party, let's go out and have fun. Mm-hmm. And that's totally fine. That's great. That's great music. I love reggaeton. But as you get deeper, like I would say, like all her antología song, like all those songs are very heartfelt, but they were also popular. So they were very smart because they would get out to the people, to the masses, but they had like a very strong significance. And I think in this day and age, what we need more of is that. The heartfelt. I see
what you're saying. What I'm saying? The authentic part of it. Like she just, we know that she's a superstar, mega star. Yeah. And I think she's just trying to just stay like relevant in that sense. Like in that, like, oh, I'm the pop star, the superstar, whatever. And she just, again, I get what you're saying. I think she's trying to stay within the times, because she did like the album with Bizarrap, all those songs. Yeah. And that's kind of like DJ music and stuff. Yeah. And I think she was just trying to stay with like what was popular at the time. Or when she did like the whole banda with La Canción con Fuerza Regida.
I hate that song.
It's because it's not, well, you as a true fan, that's not what you loved her for. So I see what you're saying. I think that it's kind of like Taylor Swift.
And I think people can evolutionize, I'm not like the Bizarrap song. I totally love. I think it's great.
I was singing that song like an anthem.
I think that song is like getting out. It's almost like you're getting out that anger and putting out all that energy of like, you did this, you did that, and I'm this, and and it was great. It's like there's meaning to it. Right. But then the Fuerza Regida one, it was just like, I almost felt like it was like
rushed, or like it didn't
rushed, or like I just want to do another song that's gonna obviously be on the charts, and my producer's telling me to do this, and it's just there
was no meaning behind it, or like a purpose for it.
Behind it. So and to me, I mean, like I said, it's like if I tried doing a song like that so that maybe people could see it and I can get some sort of fame, that makes sense. But for her,
she doesn't need that. Yeah.
Like that's what drove me insane for a little while. I was like, how? What happened? Like,
I get what you're saying.
Who's behind all of this? I'm like who's her producer? Like, who's doing all
letting
this?
Her do this?
Who's letting her do this stuff? Like, I need to talk to her and have a conversation.
It's kind of like Mariah Carey. Like, a lot of people criticize her because she doesn't really do collabs. If you think about it. Okay. And she doesn't do collabs. She hasn't come out with new music. And she just says, I'm an icon. I don't need to do anything else, kind of thing. And I can respect that. Like, if she, she did her thing for a long time. She was top of the top. She has great albums and they're classics. Yeah. And she's just like, and that's it. Like, I don't want to pretend I'm something else. I don't want to satisfy anybody else. And people see it as like, well, you're not growing as an artist, you're just in that. But it's Mariah Carey. Like, what else she needs to do? She doesn't need to grow. Just with her Christmas song every year that everybody loves. She's like rich for life. Like, you know what I mean?
And I think, in that sense, I get it. Like, I think artists can do whatever they want. I mean, you can and I think I learned this even like in my space, that I was trying to be on all the time. Because I was trying really hard to make things happen, like make a show or get a gig or do this. And I was always on trying my Instagram and trying to do things and stuff. And then I realized that like, that's not even how life works. So you can't be on all the time. You gotta be off. I would say that now it's like 50-50. Like, I'm really on when I have a show, when I have something prepared, and then the other 50% of the time, I'm like chilling. Like, I'm like thinking about what I'm gonna do, or maybe I'm practicing, which is also like downtime, but it's within yourself. So it's like it's a different. So you can't always be on, especially not as an artist. And I think that's one thing that people, like the public, thinks like, oh, they should always be on because they're an artist and they're always out. Like, no, they have personal lives. Like, they can't be on all the time.
Yeah, like they need to do everything they should, because then how they're gonna go to the top if you're not doing 100 gigs a day. But that doesn't get you to the top, doing 100 gigs a day.
No,
it just burns people out. People get discouraged. People are just like over it. Like, they lose the passion, because it could be discouraging when you're just putting yourself out there, no matter what type of or artistry you're doing, whatever it is. Like, and it's a great way to start what we were talking about earlier, how like it's hard to, I think, in general, as a human being, do what you love to do for like a living. But for you as an artist, like, how did you even like say I'm gonna like sing, or how did you start singing?
So I think I always knew I wanted to sing, but I literally every time I get that question asked, I always say I literally woke up one morning and I said I'm gonna sing. Like, and that's really how it happened. I think I was just going through a lot and I wasn't figuring myself out. And I think kind of like how your mom was like, oh, mija, well, like if you're still trying, or that's what you want to do, go for it. Except for, I didn't really have, like, singing. It's not, if you haven't done it when you're a kid, like, it's not like, oh, wait, where do I go?
Like you can go to college for singing. Well, you could, right?
You can go to college for singing, except I was kind of done with college when I decided I wanted to sing.
Oh, you were older.
I was older. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was older.
So it's not too late for me to be an actress.
No, it's not. It's not too late for you to be anything, honestly. I was definitely older, and I was like, I'm going to sing. I'm going to figure out how to sing. So I mean, I had the thought, and I was like, okay, I'm going to sing. But then I was like, then I was faced with reality, and I'm like, well, where am I going to sing? Like, how am I going to sing? I don't know anybody that sings. I didn't know at that point, I didn't know anybody in a band. I didn't have friends who played guitar. I didn't know anybody. I just knew I wanted to sing. So I thought it through, and I was like, well, what's my biggest fear, right? And so you would see me now, and you'd be like, that's no way she was afraid of that. So I was afraid of standing in front of people.
And you wanted to be a singer?
And I wanted to be a singer.
So you wanted to be a singer at the house?
Yeah, exactly. So it didn't make any sense, because I was like, well, I know I can sing.
Are you shy?
I was more shy. Yeah, definitely.
Really?
I'm an introvert, actually, to be honest.
No way.
No, I'm totally an introvert. Like, I'm a
well,
Cancer.
Actually,
I'm a Cancer, so I like to be at home a lot. Like,
but actually, it makes sense. I feel like a lot of artists are.
I think most artists have to be. Like, you're a showman or a show woman, and you're out a lot. Like, when you're out,
you're out.
You're out.
Yeah.
And when it's like a 200%. It's not like 100 like most people.
Right.
So when you're out, you're 200. It's like, that's a lot. It's like a whole week's worth of being out.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my whole month.
And now I'm like, friends are like, oh, you want to go out for a drink? I'm like, not really. I'm done for the week. You know?
I was like, yeah.
Thank you. Like, like, I don't need any noise. I don't want any blabbling. Like, you know, like,
that's
at
crazy.
least for me.
Yeah.
But and I think the other part of, so like, I guess I'm gonna go back, but like, so then I decided, and I was like, well, what can I do? So I saw that City College had a program for singing, like a singing class, and it said it was like a performance class. So you had to stand in front of people. And I guess I knew inside my house that I sung well, but I've never been out singing to anybody. So I was like, how am I gonna? That's what was the fear? It's like fear of standing in front of people and them saying, oh, like you
girl,
know, like when your tío turned off the mic, you know, like, what if I try out for a band and they turn off the mic, right? And so I took the class, and I was pretty successful from the get-go. Like, I knew I had talent. But I mean, talent, by all means, it needs to be developed. It just, you know, like, you have a lot of talent, which I did, which was what helped me. That's
you were really, like, naturally talented.
I was naturally talented, and I could sing. Like, I actually could hit all the notes. I could, because a lot of people have different problems singing. That's why I said you can sing. So some people have problems with, like, pitch, which is like, can you get to the notes, right? I didn't have that problem. I could get to the notes. If I heard a song, and I sung a lot. Like, I kind of did my own practice in the car. And that's one of the teachers at City College said, because he was like, oh, have you been singing for a long time now? No, this is my first year. And he's like, whoa. Like, and he's like, well, how do you do this? I'm like, well, I've always been singing. Like, I guess I can sing, you know? He's like, wow. So he's like, you should take more classes. So I took another class, and then here and there. And but I never felt like I could like graduate or like I wanted to go back into school and graduate from music. Like I didn't see my intention of music in that regard. Like I wanted to be singing. I wanted to be active. So I started doing karaoke with friends. That's really how it started.
Of course,
I
that's
started
the
doing
best.
karaoke with friends, and then obviously they were like, "Oh, like I like that sounded so good," and so I started getting more confidence. Like their compliments were like, "Okay, you're getting more confident and stuff like that." And then there was a guy in there that was like, "Hey, my cousin has a band, and I really think you should sing with them." And I'm like, "Well, I'll try out. I'll do my thing." So that's how I first started singing with the band.
That's
Like
crazy.
he heard me and he asked me if I'd be interested because their singer had left and they were looking for a singer. And
I mean, for you to be like shy and just say like, yeah, sure, that's crazy.
I'm just fearless. I'm shy. I'm a shy fearless.
I see. You're just
like I just say yes and then I figure it out.
You're just a boss.
Yeah,
naturally a boss.
Yes,
got it.
And then boom, then and then my friends were making fun of me that day because they were like, "Oh my God, did you just give him your number?" And I'm like, "Yeah, because he's gonna call me because he has a band and like his cousin has a band." And they're like, "Oh, you're so dumb!" Like, and
he
I'm
just
like,
wanted your number.
Yeah.
Aww.
And I'm like, "Look, if he just wanted my number, I'll block him." And they're like, "Ha ha," and it was really funny. And it 2 weeks passed and nothing happened. And I was like, "Oh, it was all whatever." And then the third week, the cousin texted me. And he was like, "Hey, my cousin said he sing really nice. We're looking for a singer. This is what we sing. We love to hear you sing and see if it could work out." And then boom. And then I started singing with them. And that was, they had cumbias and funk. Oh. So I did a little bit of like Gloria Estefan, like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I started singing that. And then the cumbias were like a no-brainer. And again, it was like all part of the confidence, like doing it, like the practice.
Yes,
the practice.
Yeah.
If you want to be an actress, you got to practice how to be an actress. If you want to be a singer, you got to practice how to be a singer. And so, and then I was in another band and another band. And then recently, like and these are the moments when I'm not out, they're the best moments because that's when I figure out what my next moves are. And that's when I really get the inspiration to be like, hey, this is what I want. Like I was singing all these things that I didn't really like to sing sometimes. And I was like, hey, well, what if I try doing this? And this is how I can sing more of the stuff that I really like singing. Because there's a lot. I know.
That's okay.
Mike, I'm sorry. So I just, that's when I started figuring out, okay, well, like those are the times that I'm like, this is what I want to do. And that's how I got into doing more creative stuff, like the parades. Because I had the time to sit down, relax, not sing, not gig, not do any of that. And I was like, okay, look, I'm older. Like, what do I want? Like, do I want to be out singing? Like tonight I'm singing late. And that's not a thing for me anymore. Like, I mean, I'm doing it because my friends are cool and I like them and I want to go and it's kind of fun. I told you I'm going to sing the rock en español and I'll go. If they say I'm going to sing rock en español, I go. And so, but besides that, I'm like, no, I like the more like mellow venues and stuff. But I really like to be a show woman. And when I get to do that, it's more like a parade. Or like
the outfit. Yes, I can see that.
Whole character. It's like then I get into being an artist. That's when I feel I'm fully performing and being an artist because I get to pick the outfit and I get to
the creative part. You enjoy that.
So for summer solstice, I'll make an example. Summer solstice was all the people there. I gotta say that right now are amazing. It's
such a fun parade.
They're all artists. Like amazing. When we first started, because it was my first year, I looked at everybody. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, I mean, I know I'm here to sing, but like, what is everybody else doing? Right? I didn't really know. And then everyone started making these crazy cool projects.
Yeah.
Like just like they had a flying pig and like a whole airline with like the airplane and all these people are just amazing. So and they were wondering like, what is this chick doing? Like, I mean, but from there, I realized that I'm more of a full-on artist. So I got to create the float. I had help. They helped me. I got some funding for it, so that was great too. I had to choreograph the girls that were gonna dance in the parade with me.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I choreographed that honestly because I was going through a lot of like personal stuff that I didn't have a lot of time. And then I had to get the outfit, I had to practice the songs, I had to practice with the band, I had to do the design of the float.
A lot of work.
So there was a lot of work. So, but those are the moments that I'm like, I told my mom, I was like, I could be here all day and I'm fine.
You don't get tired.
Like you're talking, like we were talking for an hour before we started this podcast.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
Like we could have actually started this podcast as soon as I walked in here. I was like, wow, this girl really likes to talk. Like, I'm like,
I'm really serious. Like, I just don't shut up. Like, only when I sleep.
Only when. Wow, what does your husband do? Like,
ay, mi marido, pobrecito. Like, he does walk around the house with headset.
I need my own time.
No, but I mean, obviously I do talk to him, but it's like, it's different. Like, I think I'm very passionate of learning about people. I'm so intrigued about people's lives, about what they do, like how they got here. Like, you're like an artist. It's like so fun. Like, it's funny you say that because about like developing yourself, because I think a lot of the reason why it has taken me this long to really, feel comfortable, being a podcaster or whatever public figure. No, but I used to really, the only person that was holding me back was myself. Like, I thought I was like, I don't have no talent. Like, what's my talent? I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to dance. I don't know anything. I don't have a degree. I just know that I love talk to people. I'm a great storyteller. I'm just like, I mean, I'm passionate about certain things, certain topics, about, giving people like a voice and like representing them, or, again, telling people stories. So I was like, so for a long time I was like struggling with that, and then obviously interviewing people. It's kind of like a natural thing to me, but then you also have to like the podcast I like because it's such a free form. Like, for me, like, it's just like a conversation. I don't have like a structure, how we went from one thing to another, but that's what makes it fun and authentic. Yeah. Obviously, like, if I'm like, I don't know, if I'm actually interviewing like somebody and I'm sitting and like, and I have 5 minutes with them, obviously you're going to just go straight to the point with the questions. Right. But because this is just our safe space, it's different. And I can be myself, and then I can really, but I really enjoy, and people had told me, like, from when you started listening to the podcast to now, it's such a like difference. But I actually posted the original, or like the first episodes were like literally me recording in a computer, me like not even knowing what I was doing. But I still posted those episodes because I wanted to look back and be like, and that was like with no edit, like no nothing. So it's like terrible, but it's okay, And I mean, I'm still developing this passion of me, because the podcast is such a like safe space for me. Like, I created this in my own, like, I'm sure like it is with you. Like, you're creating your own, like, you are an artist, but then you needed to find out, who am I? Like, what is my artist name? Like, what am I gonna represent? Like, because you don't have to have a genre.
You're a business.
Yes.
I mean, that's business. I mean, with any business, right?
Yes.
So, like, who's your target market?
Yes.
And I think
your listeners,
like, what am I about? Like, and so I think every time that I have that space, I'm telling you, this space thing keeps coming up because I think I'm going to need it soon. But where I get to think about who am I and what I need next. And actually, I'm really into like meditation, and I've been listening in more and more recently. I get through waves too. It's like I listen to a lot of things, and then I sit down, I kind of ground it, and then I listen to whatever I need during the time that I feel. And I think right now it's like the biggest thing is, like you said, it's like really knowing who you are. And I know that sounds crazy because before it was like, who am I? Like, what does that even mean? Right?
It's like, sounds so complicated. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's
probably the most complicated thing,
the
right?
hardest thing too. And it's funny because people are like, I don't know. And this is just maybe me. And I've been going through therapy for over a year now, for mental health and stuff like that. And it's been the best thing I've done for myself because I also have discovered things that I kind of knew. I'm like, I don't really like that. But I was just afraid to say it aloud for some reason. But just discovering yourself and your self-worth and like what, what you want to represent in this world, like, or like how I want my daughter to see me, or how am I as a wife. Like, I'm always like, you're not doing this, you're this and that, and why don't you love me? Why don't you tell me? Like that, like dramatic.
And that, because we watched a lot of novelas.
Yes.
No, I'm serious.
I'm
like,
serious.
If there's one thing that I can give feedback to anybody on this podcast is don't watch novelas.
You know what's funny?
I'm
begging my daughter to watch RBD with me. She doesn't want to.
No, please don't. No,
she doesn't want to. No. I'm like, girl, you don't know what you're missing. I'm all traumada in my 40s watching Rebelde. No, but it's done to like how the TikTok said, am I the problem?
Yeah.
And I am, because it's like, I am.
Well, you're at a good spot. You figured it out. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I had no clue who and I talked about this too when I turned 30. I was completely lost. Like, honestly, like, you will ask me, like I just
27.
Ay, no, apenas cumplí 30. No, but honestly, I was like, who am I? Like, I felt so lost, but also because I like to talk about this because I want people to like really understand. Like, if you're not married yet with children, don't feel this pressure. Like, it's okay if you're not ready or you're just not there yet, right? But because I started really young, I literally feel like I don't even remember what my childhood was or my teen years. I feel like I've been a mom and a wife since I was born. Like, literally, that's how it feels. So that I felt like, I think also because my daughter is, getting older, it kind of hit me like, shoot, like, what am I going to do when she's gone?
What am I without her?
Like, who am I without her? And then obviously my husband is like, hi, hello, I'm here, and I obviously know I have a partner with me, but like a partner in life, right? But I'm an individual too. Like, who am I? What I want to do for myself? Like, I put everything in pause, in not because of her fault, but I'm saying like I prioritize to be a mom.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say like, well, that was your mistake. Because now you're older, you could have like started a long time ago and maybe be successful. And I'd be like, yeah, maybe. But I would have lost all that time with my only child.
Yeah.
Because I don't have more kids, right? And who knows if I know I could have had more kids and that would maybe be different. But no, like, I am so happy I did what I did because I only have one child, and I can honestly say I gave my all to her, and I don't feel that guilt. I feel the guilt of like being young and maybe not doing certain things right, like every parent. But I was a present mom. And I think that that's why that's something I took pride in. And also because I think society also was like, oh, she's going to go party, going to leave her kid, like she's not going to take care of it, blah, 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 blah. She's gonna be...
So you were really there and you didn't do a lot for you.
For me.
Yeah.
So I think that now, like, they have more time and Rihanna got older, that's when I also kind of was like, okay, I'm going to start doing stuff for me slowly, because I also have to detach from that, because when she starts her own life, which she has, but obviously she's still at home, but I'm going to have, I'm going to lose it. Yeah. So it's something we were working on in therapy where, when you become an empty nester, a lot of parents and people get divorced because all they knew their relationship has been like co-parenting, but they forgot about their relationship. Yeah. So I brought this to my husband's attention because it does feel like that. It feels like to a point in a relationship where you're just like roommates. You're like, hey, okay, did you take the kid? Okay, great. Okay, tomorrow we do it again. And it's like, well, they're men, we're women, we want attention, they have needs, and it's like, that's just how it is. Like, you're humans, like, you need also attention.
You guys have been together for a long time.
Girl, we just turned the novias 18 años.
Wow.
Yeah, but married, we're at 16, going on 17.
Because you guys are so young.
Yeah, and it's been a very tough for the reason of us growing up together, and it's like we become our own selves, but also you gotta like imagine it's hard when you're like in your 20s trying to figure out your life. But I had to figure it out with somebody else, and people are like, "Well, that's great because you had a partner." Well, it's not so great when you sometimes have two different like point of views or like goals. So that was challenging, but I think now that we're obviously here and we totally know who we are as individuals, but then also as a married couple, like we know what our marriage is. It's beautiful, and I think that it's like, damn, like we made it happen where like we grew apart to a point. I feel like because I was just like, no, like I don't like that, or he be like, no, I don't like that you're doing that, and it's like, and I'm like, well, you're not gonna tell me what to do, and it's like, it's the same for him. So but I don't know, I got sidetracked on my life, but no, it is a struggle. It is a struggle to find yourself.
Yeah, and I listen, like I said, I listen to a lot of meditation stuff, and I'm not saying, like, I'm not even near where I want to be, but one of the people I follow is Sadhguru. Have you heard of him?
Yes, I have.
So Sadhguru has a thing that I've been attaching to a lot, like in my brain, so that I can think about it at night. So at night, he says that you should lay in bed and you should detach from everything that makes you in the world, like in this world. So detach from being a mom, detach from being a wife, detach from me being an artist, being a singer, being whatever, detaching from all those things, and then feeling how you feel without all of that. Like, that's not you. Like, according to him, that's not really you. Like, you, it's your essence, like el alma, you know, the soul. That's you. And so without all of those pieces, which sometimes come as ego, then who are you? You know, and it's such a crazy concept.
It is.
But if you get to that point where you can start detaching, one, it can make you a little more relaxed, because then you're like, that's not me. Like, I'm not defined by being a mom. I'm not defined by being a woman. I'm not defined by being an artist. I'm not defined by being a singer. I'm not defined by any of this. This is all like an exterior world. And the reason why he says that, it's like, right now we're having a podcast, right? But back in, like, I don't know, 1950s, women couldn't even speak in like things. So we wouldn't, if we were in the 1950s, we wouldn't be making a podcast
or feeling all this pressure to be people's expectations of yourself.
Right. But like what he tries to say by that is like, hey, don't get so caught up in, for me, for instance, like trying to be a singer and like being out there. It's like, be it, because that's who
you are.
That's who you are, and you have that essence, but you can't be stuck to it, because there's something deeper. We're valuable just because we are, because we exist.
Yes.
And I think that's like, because you were touching that subject, it's like, you are you.
Yeah.
And it's just because you're you. Like, you don't have to do the podcast. You don't have to be a mom. You don't have to do anything. And women especially, and I was listening to another lady today about high value women. I love podcasts. And so high value women, and she was talking about how to be a high value woman.
Yeah.
Right? And so
I like that.
And one of the things that she said is, don't try to do everything. Don't try to do. And Latinas try to do.
It's like
we are taught to do.
Do everything and more.
Do. Because like we're doers. And the reason why we're not should be, this is why, and I had a conversation with a bunch of girls recently. Latina women are they're considered controlling.
Yeah.
Because we're taught to do, and we have a lot of masculine energy. So there's two energies. I like to talk about energy a lot. So there's feminine energy, there's masculine energy, and men and women, we have both.
Yeah.
So we have both. So for instance, I come into the doer a lot. like, because that's who I learned to be.
Me.
Survival
Same.
mode kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Same.
gotta do. Men don't like that. Like, really, in the essence of energy. In the essence of energy.
Yes.
They don't like that because they are the doers. Like, their energy, their masculine energy should be the doer. You should be more like the free flow, like like, not that you have to. I'm not saying you have to say yes, honey, to everything.
Yeah, you're not
oh my God,
let's
do. But women's energy is smarter. Like, women's feminine energy should be more like, if they say, oh, let's go here, and you're like, oh, that sounds fantastic, but how about we do this and that, and then we can, like,
be smart with it.
You're smart with it. And so I think women have a lot of growing to do because we haven't. So I'm all into this thing because I think women have been fighting, and I understand why women fight, like the feminist struggle.
Right.
I totally get it. And when men tell me, but why are they fighting that? I'm like, because for centuries we've been put down, because for centuries we've been violent, because for centuries you guys have that upper hand only because biologically your bodies are stronger.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
but you have no brains. I just kidding.
no, they have brains, but sometimes they don't use them. So that's why with women, it's like, hey, that's one of my biggest thing. And so I'm writing more now because my goal is to take out my songs. This was great with Gateway. I didn't even think this was going to work out that way, but it's perfect. It was perfect. So I'm writing more because there's a lot of things women have to say that they don't say, that we all go through. And what is not better than a song to say it in? You know
who I love that I feel like
does that? Mon Laferte. No? Yeah.
but her, definitely her. I was thinking you were reading my mind.
I was totally reading your mind. Like, I got into my bruja energy, and so I could read your mind.
But I also feel like in terms of like speaking actually how like facts, I think Yuridia does that a lot.
Yuridia does too, actually.
Yeah. But
I don't know. Does Yuridia write her songs? I don't think so. Because Mon does.
Oh yeah, so yeah. She's an artist.
I'm singing one of her songs tonight.
Oh, I know. Pero no llegaba a mi casa.
Dile a tu esposo, hey, adventure night. Let's go.
El marido. No, but no, I would love to. But Carla Morrison too.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh. Yeah, so soulful too.
Julieta Venegas.
Natalia Lafourcade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they all have great
Julieta Venegas, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we love her.
Yeah, we love her.
So yeah.
So there's that point where like women get a little less defensive.
Sí. Yuridia es una de que, pero I feel like she's both. She's both. Like she can be both. Like she can be vulnerable, but then she can be like fighting words.
Yeah. I mean, she does. Well, because she's had she struggled.
She struggled, but she does write her. Oh no, you said she doesn't, right?
I don't think she.
I thought she did because she was in the academia.
No, yeah, but I don't think she wrote her songs. I could be wrong. I'm not really sure about this one.
No, I don't know. So. You probably know more than me in that. But yes, I see what you're saying. Definitely, it's just so much to so many things. But I do always say it too. There's never gonna be a perfect, obviously, person, and you're never gonna stop finding out who you are. You're always gonna grow and develop yourself. But there is a point in life that you need to know, like you said, like. Who you are in this earth, like in terms of like for your like you like
your plan, like your personal plan.
Yes, not like
there's another way they say it, and I'm blanking out right now.
I know. I'm like trying to think.
Late. It's not good. I'm not gonna remember the song tonight.
No, but you know what I mean, like
we all need ambition to be in this world, and that's ego. Yeah, you're right, totally. So that's why they're like, the ego's not bad. It's what drives you. It's what motivates you. It's what makes you put on the podcast. It's what makes me go out and sing. It's that's the drive.
Yeah.
Except for you gotta be okay with all of that, without all of that too.
Yeah.
And that's where the anxiety sometimes comes in. That's why there's so much anxiety out there now.
And I think that's what I tell you. That's when I went through my like whole mental breakdown, was because when you said like when I start thinking about, oh, my daughter's gonna leave me, or oh my gosh, like what's gonna happen with my husband, like we're gonna like, everybody's saying that we're gonna like divorce after she leaves, and like, you know, all this stuff. But I'm like, okay, like that's life. You know, my daughter has to have her own life. That's why I'm preparing her so she can have a great, successful life. Obviously, relationships are hard. Like we never know what's gonna happen. You know, marriages are hard. Like we're not obviously gonna live forever, anyways, either. You know, so I was like, why am I like if you were to take those two things out, like being a wife and a mom, like I didn't know who I was, and that was the problem. I was like, that is not good. Like, because I am somebody before them. I had a life before them.
Right.
I had goals before them, and it's okay that I, like, you know, I prioritize things, but I can still do those things, and people do. You know, like you said, like women we're doers, but I feel like sometimes, like for example, single moms, they don't have options, right? They have to work, kids, whatever they have to do, and obviously maybe they're like, some can still do their hobbies and things like that, but some can't, and that's why I think there's a lot of frustration, like you said, and there's a lot of like I feel like depression and anxiety, because when you're just like just one person, it's hard. You know, imagine I had a partner. Everybody's like, oh, you're so lucky you have a partner, and yes, I am very blessed. But it's not easy either, because we were both young and we were still trying to figure life, you know, so it made it harder, I think.
Yeah.
Because you're not only dealing with my own feelings, I had to worry about his feelings. If he was depressed, what is he going through? He felt like he wasn't accomplished. He felt this. That's why he went back to school, and I had to support him. And I didn't have to. I wanted to, because that's part of being a team. But it's like, you cannot just only worry about yourself. You know what I mean? You got to worry about your child, but then you also have to worry about your partner. Like, what is he also feeling?
Yeah.
So that's what's tough.
It's tough being a woman, just in general. And I always say this, and I tell all men out there watching the show, like, it's not easy being a woman. Like, in all regards, it doesn't matter. I don't know, even like for so many reasons. Like, and I'm gonna talk, and we will talk a little bit of. I guess I have to talk soon because
I know you have to go.
Yeah, I have a gig. But
that makes the worst artist.
They're gonna be like, why can't you sing in my singing with this girl
for 2 hours?
So the hardest part of, like, there's a lot of things that are hard from being a female singer, being Latina even more, but like, well, first and foremost, because I didn't come from a singing background, as you know,
that's already a challenge.
It was already challenging because I took it very personal what people would say about me. I took it so personal. I took it so personal because I wasn't developed yet to the point where it's like, even if I knew, because I knew my flaws. Actually, I was pretty good about listening to myself and noticing, and I still do, and I work on them. But like, they shouldn't have affected me so much what other people said. But it did, because I wasn't so, because I didn't have a background, because I didn't have a lot of people like,
you weren't developed.
I didn't have a lot of people on my
training either. Or
like, it was like me by myself, like a lone wolf, like, oh, me.
I love your chiquita.
You got pitch, I'm telling you.
Don't mind my little low-key shade.
I still want to do a song with you, so
please come to my podcast.
Yeah, or you can have one of my songs, like,
we're over here. Yeah. No, but you know, I get what you're saying. It's so hard. Like, you do feel alone.
Yeah. So that was the number one. The number two was like, well, and then because of that, like, I think people can see through you when you're not like confident. You know, like when you're not confident over something, like they can see through it. And so when people don't have the best intentions, because when people have good intentions, they're like, hey, let me help you out. I can see you're struggling. Like, I'm gonna help you.
Exactly.
Except for the people that I came across a lot were like,
puro critica y no ayuda.
yeah, exactly.
Or
like, oh, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong. Except for, it was almost, I think my biggest problem, and I figured that out later on, was that I could tell they were messing up a lot. So I didn't think they were people who should be like pinpointing all my faults.
But it happens because their own insecurities, they want to reflect them on somebody else too.
True. Yeah,
it happens all the time.
And so, like, it's so funny because I've gotten comments now of certain things, and they don't bug me anymore. Like I can't.
I think it's maturity too, because I'm the same.
Maturity, but also like tengo callo. Like I have a little callo now, and I figured out a lot of things in the quiet time, in the space that I put myself through. That it's like, okay, no, but being a female singer is hard because I don't care what guy it is. I don't care if it's Mark Anthony. He's got a great personality. He looks great. I mean, if it's Mark Anthony and then you bring on J-Lo, even if she doesn't sing as good as him, they're going to look at J-Lo. All eyes are going to be on J-Lo. That's what women have that men don't have, like naturally. Like we're just the focus. Like right off the back. If there's a woman in the team, they're going to look at the woman. Like,
it's true.
It doesn't matter if it's a woman or a guy on the other side. They're going to look at the woman. It's not about, it's just like that. Like we have this light. We're like, that's why all marketing is done based on women's bodies. Like curves.
Yeah.
And so I show up on stage. It's like all eyes are on me. So if I mess up, everyone's going to know. Yeah. So there's a little more pressure on that side. There's the pressure of like, the hardest thing for me, to be honest, I think when I show up, like tonight, I'm wearing a dress, and I'm wearing some boots, but like, it's gonna be hard for me. Like I can't be doing what the guys are doing, like putting the cables and stuff, because then my dress is like getting up in here, and like, like all those little things men don't go through. Their shoes are always comfortable.
Yeah, they're always chilling.
They're always comfortable, like for most part. And I'm telling you, I know a lot of the men are like, no, but like, I mean, because they do work hard and they're playing drums, and that's hard, like physically, and there's all these things involved. There's but it doesn't amount to the things that, like, just in production wise, like women, we always have to be more produced, in general.
Yes, more time, effort.
You can decide not to do it, but I mean, so and then being the only female around a lot of men, it's hard too. That's it's
not the worst, because I know my friends are guys, but I'm just saying it could be tough. But obviously, when you finally find your team or your group, it's different. But
I think the hard part, and I think this is for general in life, this is a great thing. I think men are not taught so much about women in general, because it's always the other way around. It's always women. We need to learn about men to be good to them, so that we can be right. So we gotta know how to be good wives, how to be good moms, how to be good partners. Because according to society, women have to be good at everything, and so that's not real. So I think that if I were to give any piece of advice, would be like, we need this more, like more information, more podcasts where where women are talking to men about what happens to us, like what we go through.
Yeah.
That, so they know. Because I don't think it's they don't care. If they just don't get it. Like, for instance, in the bands, it wasn't like they were like mean to me. It's just they didn't understand what I was going through. Like, maybe that day I'm on my period. Like, and my hormones are high. My dress doesn't fit.
Your stomach hurts.
I feel hot.
Cramps.
Like, when you're on your period, like, you can be dehydrated.
Yes.
Like, you might not feel good. You might be lightheaded. Maybe you didn't sleep the night before. I don't know, whatever. And so, like, summer solstice, like, I was going through a whole thing in the morning, and I showed up early. I woke up early, and still I was the last one there, and I think people were like, this woman, like, she should have been here like 3 hours ago, because she's showcasing this whole event. But what they didn't understand was I had all these other things in the background that I had to take care of. And so when they see you, that you're like, I'm here, right? Because that's
they're like,
yeah, like ya llegó tarde, ya vino, ya, you know,
showed up, so, the diva,
yeah, and that's exactly what they think. That's exactly what they think, and I'm like no, like and then like before, I think it really, like I said, those were the things that would like hurt me, because I was like, oh my god, like I was really trying to do this for all of us, you know, and I was really trying to put this together, but like now I'm like, you know what, think whatever you guys want. Like we all got issues, and like we all have our thing, but I definitely, and because I'm stronger about what I know myself. Yeah. And I know what I was doing. Like, it's like they could say, oh, diva, she shows up last minute. Like, yeah, because I was dealing with a lot of other things, you know?
Yeah. So it is tough. It is tough to, like you said, to be a woman in this world. But in general, especially again, as an artist, all the struggles that you have to go through, all the criticism, because if you look good, no, esta no se ve bien, esta no se acá, o no canta bien, or she's not, like, I don't know, like, it's just so much pressure. And like, I totally get what you're saying. Like, for me, it's more like, I feel like I'm not really out there as much anymore, but it's just like, it's just not me. It's not what I'm trying to deliver. Like, I don't want to be partying. Like, for what? Like, I have a podcast. Like, why do I have to be in the club? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't get it. Like, to post on social media that I'm out. Like, I don't get it. Like, what is the whole purpose? And like, for example, I like to do like community events. Like, I can MC and stuff. But then also, it's like, people do take advantage sometimes where they don't respect your time. They don't give you the information that you need, and you just like, they just make you go in there and you have to wing it. And thankfully, I've been able to do it. Yeah. But it's like, you know, like, it's also like, I feel like they almost put you like for failure. And I'm like, I don't like that feeling. But again, porque soy mujer, I can figure it out. Like, I'm not going to burn and die, but I'm just saying, like, damn, help me a little, you know? And then, but I also had a lot of closed doors, a lot of no's, a lot of like, you're not good. Like, people don't listen to you.
I used to take the no's as a bad thing.
Oh, yeah, me too.
You know, like,
me too.
And another thing, it's like, the no's are great. The no's are like, and I didn't get it, but
it gives you like a boost of energy, like, oh yeah, you said no to me.
And the no's are just redirecting you to the correct spot where you should be.
Yeah.
You know, I think if I hadn't gotten some no's, oh man, like, I remember, okay, so I don't have to say any names, but I was with this band. Like, I got asked to be in this band for Fiesta, and they were like, oh, can you sing some songs, blah blah blah. Nothing like I'm gonna be with them forever, but you know, I was excited. I really liked this band. They were Latin. They would play a lot of like Latino music, and I was like, oh my god, I'm totally gonna do this. Like, this is so good. Like, I'm gonna practice the songs. It's gonna be great. Blah blah blah. So I did the gig, and I thought it was good. You know, I practiced with them no more than twice with this band. And the show came out pretty good. Like, for twice, like, I mean, I worked hard, you know? So then after the show, I thought, dude, for sure I'm going to be in this band. Like, I made it. Like, ya me gradué. Like, I got this. And then I talked to the lead of the band. And I'm like, hey, listen, I really, you know, I was kind of like, I really enjoyed playing with you guys. It was a great event. Like, thank you so much. I hope that I can still play with you guys, you know, at some point. Or that, you know, if you guys are looking for a female singer, that you would consider me.
Right.
So a couple weeks later, and I didn't hear anything from him anymore. And a couple weeks later, I heard that they had kind of girl singer. And you know, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I was so devastated.
Yeah,
because
that's tough.
But like, I mean, I've always been strong personality-wise, so I wasn't like, the world's dying. But I was like worried about me, like, in a way of like,
you were discouraged.
I was like discouraged.
Second guessing yourself.
Correct. I was discouraged. I was like, maybe I don't have what it takes to be in a band. Like, why didn't they like me? I thought I was great. Like, I looked through the videos, and I'm like, I mean, I was great. Like, I actually, like, I'm my biggest critic. Like, I think most people are.
Same. Oh my
But
God.
I honestly thought I was like,
You're like, I
great.
killed
Like,
that.
I killed it. And there was moments that I had mistakes. But to me, it was like, I practiced twice with them. Like, what else could they expect?
Yeah.
You know, there was little things that they could always improvement.
Mm-hmm.
But later on, I was like, oh my God. Like, that was just God doing this, because it was like, you weren't supposed to be in that band. You were supposed to figure out your own venues, like, go onto your own path, figure out other things. Because if I would have landed this band thing, I would have probably stayed with them forever.
And you would have you had to stick to whatever their vision was too.
Their vision, and I would have probably. I realize now that I probably wouldn't have grown as much as I did, because I would have been I would have been so comfortable thinking like, well, oh my God, like, I'm in this band, and like,
I
I'm
love
a singer.
it.
Yeah. And then I would have never seen outside of it all these other options. One, two, that it wasn't like, it wasn't me. It wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't for me. And that's what the no's are. It's like, it's
not meant to
telling you
you.
it's not for you. Doesn't mean you're not good at it. Doesn't mean, and I was still like, oh my God, I can kill to sing again with that band, but in a different space, where I'm like, no, I have this whole new venue for me, you know?
Right.
So
it could be empowering. Yeah. It's okay, amiga. You didn't have to sing with those Maná wannabe.
Or those.
But no sé. I don't know who the band was, but I'm just saying. Se me ocurrió. Porque va a ser cantar rock en español.
Oh, yeah. Ahora sí ya me voy a ir.
Ya, córrele porque vas a llegar tarde. I don't want
to have to do this like every month. We have a lot.
Isn't it like therapy session kind of low key? It's like girl talk. But I mean, it's girl talk because obviously girl talk. But it's not like, I don't think that my podcast, because it's funny because it's such a good point that you just said right now about like men should listen to more about this conversation.
Yeah,
but see, I feel like they feel attacked, and I got comments before where like they're like, "Oh, you're a men hater," and honestly, I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to help you out to tell you the truth, like what we feel, like what I like. It's the facts of what your actions are, or like, I'm not saying you personally, but I'm saying like in general what men have done in generations. Like, it's time to grow, it's time to learn, it's time to develop yourself. Like, don't be stuck in this vision that the society wants to paint men to be. Like I always praise my husband, because I feel like my husband, from when I met him to now, he's such a different person. And that's what I was going to get to, that it's been a beautiful thing for me to see his growth, see him fall, make mistakes, and it hurt me, like hurt my feelings. But it's like, from seeing him to be a boy to a man now, I'm so proud of him. And like I said, like for me, it's kind of been like a beautiful thing, because nobody knows him better than me. Not even his mom anymore, because he literally has spent, like, he has grown with me. And I feel like the same. I feel like he feels the same about me. You know what I mean? And that's what the beautiful thing behind the struggle has been: seeing your partner grow in the struggle. And I always say that, because I have also like been really into like reading about like, what love is, what really love is. And like, people think love is in a partner, and love is in like in other people, but love is within yourself, like truly loving yourself first to be able to love others. But one of the things was that in a relationship that I kind of came up with, true love is really, I feel, that is still loving your partner in their worst times.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing either the worst side of them or what they're going through, but you still have love for them. And you're still willing to help them because you love them. Necessarily, like I'm saying, like, like if it's like obviously a toxic, bad situation, you can still love them in the sense to say, like, you need to learn that this is not okay, but because I love you, I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna so you can develop yourself as a person. You're gonna truly know what rock bottom is by losing me, but it's a sign of love. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm gonna let you drown, but it's like sometimes I feel like women in the past, like past generations, that's what has happened, where they have stayed in relationships that have been super toxic because they had to, because of the kids, because they love them. And I think selfishly they stayed because they were afraid of what they're going to do with their lives by themselves.
They had less options.
They did have less options.
Yeah,
they did. So it's kind of hard. I'm just saying, like, because I feel like that's why also, though, like, their husbands never developed themselves, because they just thought that no matter what, their behavior was okay with them.
Yeah, that happens a lot still, though.
So obviously it's a different generation, different times. Obviously, thanks to those generations, we have learned a lot, though. Yeah. If you really think about it. And I know that we say that it's like trauma for a lot of us, generational trauma. You know, some people still have those, like, oh, I try to blame their current relationship status to their parents. But I always like to see things in a positive way, where I feel like, well, then why don't you learn from what you saw growing up, and try to say, like, I don't really want that for me. Right. Like, I don't have to repeat that, or whatever it is. Yeah. But I always say that definitely loving your partner is also like loving them in their worst times, and not necessarily like towards you, right? Like, you don't want also like be with somebody,
just being with them when they're going through their growth, basically. Yes.
Yeah. And that's challenging, because a lot of people, that's when they like, peace out.
I think love, true love. I don't know if I can love that way sometimes, but true love is, have you heard of Diego Dreyfus? Mm-mm. He talks a lot about this, but like true love is just letting that other person be completely how they are going to be. Like, whatever that entails. But to get to that pure honesty and truthfulness of yourself with another human, like, it's hard.
It's hard.
That's the hardest thing.
And you're going to see the worst of people in that process.
You can see the worst of people, and you got to be willing to see all of their sides. And I think that's why relationships break up so fast, and we live in a fast life now, because, I mean, the new iPhone's coming up. Like, you just throw the other one, and it's okay, like, to do that. Before, it's like you maintain things, you work for them, like, if things aren't perfect, you work on them, blah, blah, blah. And I think we have so much more resources now.
Do you think there will be like more like people we're rich?
But we're not.
And I mean, again, I always go back and forth, because I also talk about, like, obviously I always not put up with, like, obviously violence and things like that. But and that's a definitely no for me. But I'm just saying, like, when you can't blame other people also when yourself are not even perfect or know who you are.
None of us are.
Right.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm just like checking on these guys.
No, ya, amiga, ya vete, porque ya
me van a regañar. Yes, me van a decir otra vez that I'm the diva. Like, ni modo.
Ay, no, ya. See, we can talk forever.
We can. Definitely. This is so great, and I'm really thankful to be here. I
thank you so much for spending your time.
I love this. I love women doing things like this. Anyone really. I did the Los Amigos show a while back. You weren't in it yet.
No, I was not.
You weren't. I'm sad about that, but I'll go back. I'll go back when you're there.
I show up whenever I can, but I haven't. But it's just also because
we'll do like the women's edition.
Take over.
We'll take over.
No, but the guys love, always support. I'm always in the comments, so I'm always there. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So. Yeah, I love seeing, I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to come on your show, because I just felt like like I said, information is great. This is why podcasts are so great. This is why all the new media. That's why don't watch novelas. Novelas just bring hate. They bring drama. They bring all that energy, and I think that's what we need to get away from. Like those were the past times. We needed to people needed to distract themselves on something back in the day. And now what we need is like we need good energy. We need good musicians. We need good music. We need good art. We need good podcasts.
Good conversations.
Like
the truth.
And if we had more of this, there'd be less anxiety and less depression, because people will feel more connected. Like everyone's on their phone now, and that's not connection. Like a real, authentic connection. Sitting down. Like if my advice, always have an advice. I'm gonna start my own podcast. Like after
this, you should. It's so much fun. I'm telling you.
So my advice to this would be like, if you're listening to this, like go call a friend. Like for one, like. I like this one podcaster that does like 3 points at the end. And so like one, it's like truly look at yourself and figure out what is your life purpose. That's what it is. Life purpose. Figure out what your life purpose is. And it doesn't mean that if you have one, that you can change it, because people get stuck. Oh my God, I need to have the perfect one. Like it's got to be stretched. Like it's gonna, it's like no. It's you got to figure out what you want for now, what you envision, and then it can change. Because your life purpose is yours. Yeah, it really can. And then 2, I would say listen to more people
and different opinions.
Listen to different people, different opinions. And don't get stuck on yours, like you can have your own opinion. I think that's important. You have to have your own character. Very important. But listen to people and see, and even if you're like, oh, they're crazy.
Or you don't exactly agree, but it's like you listen.
Right.
People can have civil conversations.
Yeah.
But not the same.
And and then 3, call someone and ask them for coffee.
So fun.
Like call them for coffee. And then leave your phone like in the car, or like put it down. Like I do this a lot. I saw this meme of like, oh, you put the phone down a lot. But I do this so that I turn it off and I put it down, just so in that meantime I can really connect. Because I have ADHD, so like I like a phone ringing and people talking.
Well, I keep looking at this just because I need to make sure it's still working, but not because I'm But no, and it was funny because we were talking about how like I always tell my friends, because my friends are so like not like when we get together, we don't even look at our phones. But I'm like, damn, like maybe I should like.
Oh, because the day and age we get worried.
Yeah,
like, I'm like I was like, oh shit, I should look at them because I need to go.
No,
thank you so much again.
She has a gig and she's gonna be late. Oh my gosh, no, I don't want to.
That's why I came all pretty to you. I was like, I gotta go pretty just in case it takes a while and I can't get.
Thank God you did.
I'm just gonna throw my dress on right now and boom, I'm ready.
Okay, girl,
a shiny dress.
Yeah,
I'll have to send you a picture.
Yes, you do, and then we will be in touch because I need to get like maybe picture whatever for the promos and stuff. Okay. But thank you again. Thank you. Don't forget to follow Amiga and all her events. Adriana Reyna, can you give us your Instagram?
Yes, Adriana Reyna Music. That's the best one. Okay. We're still working on that TikTok. Remember?
Yeah,
we're gonna work on that TikTok. And Facebook and all that. So if you go on my Instagram, then you can find all my stuff.
And I'm obviously going to put everything on the description of the episode, and I'm going to tag her and all that. So please give her a follow. If you see her in the street, say hi. Say like, oh, I can
give your autograph.
Yeah. But thank you again. Thank you, amigos,
for listening. Más caros, Like,
yes, you better get them now. Porque cuando andan con Mark Anthony no nos va a pelear. La next esposa.
Yeah, no, doesn't matter, man.
Oh, God. Okay, amigos. Until next time. Adios. Bye.